What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Dummy Wormy, and David Jaffe just can't stop putting his own foot in his mouth. Now, for those of you who haven't been following along with this current round of controversy for him, it all really started back when he came out and blamed YouTube grifters for being the reason that Dragon Age the Veilguard failed, completely ignoring the fact that you have folks like IGN and the game are coming out here and basically saying that the game was just too woke. You have individuals that are full-fledged leftist, non-binary, trans, LGBTQ, AI, up, down, left, right, center, blah, 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 even admitting that the game was too woke. Everybody's pretty much on the same side that the game was just garbage and was filled with so much propaganda that it was a bad game. Everybody fundamentally rejected it, but he's so incapable and unable to actually think that the audience can actually think for themselves and see the truth for themselves. He has to blame YouTube grifters for it. And because of this, he had all sorts of people roasting him, myself included, Hypnotic, Geeks and Gamers, pretty much everybody. And one of the #1 people that roast him to heck and back was Vera Dark. Now, Vera Dark put out a really good response video. And because of that, he had a complete mental breakdown. God of War creator melts down and spazzes out after Vera Dark roasts him. And when we actually come back over to what he had to say, tons of people have been playing this over and over again. In my initial video on this whole subject of him going after Vera Dark, even I pointed out, dude, what you're saying here, by your own standards, by your leftist liberal bubble, by your hyper-progressive ideology, is completely sexist. And if I said anything like what you just said there, you'd be calling me a sexist. You'd be calling me a monster, a misogynist, saying that I hate women. But listen to what he had to say.
What they do. A grifter is not someone who sits in front of a camera and talks about video games, Vera Dark. You just don't know how to do this. You don't know how to do this. You are in that chair, Vera, because of your hair and your face and your gender. And that's fine, by the way.
He's saying that Vera Dark is only there because of her hair, her face, and her gender. He's calling her a grifter because she's a woman that actually knows what the heck she's talking about, is actually skilled in all things YouTube right now, plays plenty of games, is actually very informed, takes every approach to her videos very analytically, and because she roasted you, torched you, did everything correctly, you have a massive sexist bitch fit about it and decide to spurg out on stream and in a video nonetheless. And everybody took it, ran with it, and pointed out, if we said what you just said there, you would be calling us a sexist. You would be coming after us for everything you just said there. And because people started, throwing his own ideology back in his face, he does what every reasonable leftist normally does. Gaslight and refuse to accept that he's being a massive hypocrite. Because you come over here, David Jaffe gets roasted after claiming he wasn't being sexist against Vera Dark. No, guys, he wasn't being sexist. He was just being mean. And for the past couple of days, he has been getting roasted on Twitter. There's been tweets all up the wazoo because he had to defend the fact he wasn't being sexist. He wasn't being sexist. Nothing he said there was sexist. But again, if I said anything like that about Pokimane, if I said anything like that about Denim's TV, about any of your leftist streamers out there, you'd be calling me a sexist, misogynistic monster. But hey, don't just take a little article for it. Why don't we see it again from his own words? Now, I'm 32 seconds into the stream because he's just sitting there complaining about people like Asmongold, Stuttering Craig, Vera Dark. But he gets confronted with, hey, you were sexist to her. Why don't we see what he had to say, shall we?
So no, I did not see it. I did not see it. I was not sexist to Vera. Stop the clowns. I was not. I was mean to her. Trust me, because I was worried because I knew people would think I was.
Wait, so if you knew people would think you're sexist, but you weren't sexist, but you thought people would think you're sexist because what you're saying was sexist. By your own standards, it was sexist. So yes, you were being sexist, but watch this whole mental loop-de-loop that he is doing here.
But I was like, this is not, I know people will think this is sexist or misogynistic, but it's really not. And I was checking with women. I'm like, hey, watch this for me, because maybe I'm wrong, because I can be wrong. Everybody's got a blind spot. I would hate to think I actually would say something sexist or misogynistic, but in this case, I was like, I don't think it is. But again, I could still be wrong. Educate me if I am. But my understanding of misogyny, yeah, so like the Popo says you implied that she only has a channel and audience because of her hair and her looks, and because she's a woman. That's not sexist. That's not misogynistic. That's me being mean.
No, that is being sexist and misogynistic, and saying that she's only successful because of her gender and looks. You're implying that she's an idiot. You're implying that nobody's really listening to her for anything that she's actually has to say. And you're saying that, no, guys only watch you and you're only successful because guys are gooning to you. That's the whole reason why you said what you said. That is sexist. You're saying she doesn't deserve anything that she's saying. You're saying that she's bad at what she's doing and she's only successful because of her looks and her gender. That's sexist, my dude. And again, say it's me, and I do the exact same argument to somebody like Pokimane. Pokimane's only successful because she's hot and sexy and people like to goon to her. Yeah, that's sexist by your own standards. There's plenty of YouTubers out there and content creators that actually do what you're saying Vera Dark is doing, but Vera Dark is far from that fact. And because you didn't do your research, you decided to just say that she's another pick-me out there. She's another girl who's just saying base things on the internet because she wants to get an audience off the incel chuds out there, and ignore the fact that she's actually skilled in what she does. She actually knows what she's saying. And when you're actually faced with this reality, when people are actually pointing out that if we said what you said, you'd be calling us sexist, your only defense is, no, I'm not being sexist. I'm not being sexist. I was just being mean. I'm not being sexist.
To her, and saying the only thing, in my opinion, based on what I've seen of hers, that allows her to be able to do what she does is she is an attractive or semi-attractive woman talking to a bunch of nerds. Is it mean? Oh, yeah. Is it cruel? Of course. I mean, she was similar.
But you're also taking it from the fact that she's a woman and trying to deride her for just being a woman. You see the mental gymnastics here. Because he knows if he gets labeled sexist, it's the end of the world. But because these leftist liberal freaks have this weird oppression Olympics, and because in his mind being labeled sexist is the end of the world, he has to now fight back and say, no, I wasn't being sexist. I wasn't being sexist. I wasn't being sexist. Even though his own chat is calling him sexist. His own leftist liberal chat is calling him sexist. You see the problems here, David? You're a sexist now. Welcome to the club, by the way. We have cookies every Wednesday night. You brought this on yourself, and no amount of mental gymnastics or squirming around is gonna get you out of this. You said it. You attacked her based solely on her looks and say she's only successful for her looks. Welcome to the world that you ushered in. These are the rules that you are playing by. This is the logical issues that you have been playing by and saying everybody else has issues with, and calling everybody else racist, sexist, transphobic, yada, yada, yada. Those are your own issues. You've been playing by these rules, and now with the rules being turned back on you, you're acting like, I don't want to play. I don't want to play. Welcome to the world that you created, David. Now deal with it. But I'm going to leave it there. Let me get your guys' thoughts on this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with friends. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video live, guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.